So the turkey vulture was brought into her care because it was found weak and wasn't able to fly. A concerned homeowner had noticed it acting quite strange in her yard. They tend to come down and scavenge, but then spend a lot of time up in trees or soaring around. So having a turkey vulture that's not just willing to take off at a fly is very odd. When first admitted, it's protocol that we check all scavengers' blood lead levels, and immediately the test showed that this vulture was suffering from a severe case of lead poisoning. Usually around this time of year, a lot of the turkey vultures have actually migrated further south. Unfortunately, the lead toxicity left this poor vulture too weak to migrate, and he was left behind. In severe cases, the toxic levels can actually lead to tremoring or seizing or circling, paralysis, and eventually death as well. So it's a really good thing that this turkey vulture was actually found and brought to us in a timely manner. If you leave a source of lead in the patient, it will just keep leaching into the animal's bloodstream. It could even precipitate out into tissue or bone. So we really need to make sure there is no lead, or if there is, that we remove it before we start our chelation process, which is what we do next to get the lead out of the blood. And so we took x-rays and we were able to see that there was indeed some lead in this patient's gizzard, which is the stomach of the bird. Procedure that our veterinary team knew we had to perform is called a gastric lavage, and this procedure has to be done under general anesthesia. There's two benefits to that. One, it obviously can be a very stressful procedure, so having the patient under anesthesia and they're not feeling anything is a great bonus. They definitely will have no memory of the procedure. Two, the procedure has us put a tube down the esophagus and into the stomach of the patient in order to flush out all of the contents. We're trying to decontaminate the area and hopefully get that lead out. Gastric lavage can be a little bit challenging, and you can imagine it's pretty gross because we are flushing out the contents of the stomach of the patient. But our team was very, very determined to get that lead out. No matter how long it took, we were ready to do it. If the lead is big enough, you can actually hear it hit the bucket. In this case, it was very, very small, almost kind of the size of like a grain of rice. So we really didn't hear it. And it's quite amazing to see how debilitated this patient was when the lead source itself was so tiny. We sifted through all the debris in the hopes of trying to pick it out, because we do like to try and, identify what the lead source was. We couldn't even find it. To be very thorough, we'll then x-ray our catch bucket, and we'll be able to see that the lead is now within the catch bucket as well. So that's a second way to make sure 100% the lead is out of our patient.
Oh, yes, I think so too. Yes!
Right there.
Oh, perfect. Oh, that's awesome.
Little bones. Okay. We can probably find out where that is.
So once we finally confirmed that the lead was out, everyone was extremely excited. We knew that, the prognosis now would hopefully be going in a positive direction. And so it was definitely a celebration moment.
We've been going through a couple of rounds of treatment because you want to be careful with it, but each time his lead levels dropped further and further, and we just checked it for what will be our last time, and it's at 10.7, which is an acceptable level that shouldn't cause issues and should continue to drop since we seem to have caught it acutely. So he's doing really well, so now he's going to go over to rehab to be exercised and prepped for release.
So typically we start seeing vultures returning kind of near the end of March. So that is when we're hoping to potentially release him, but it will just really depend on his flight ability and everything like that. And now he's actually in our largest aviary and getting prepped and reconditioned in time for release in the spring.
If you like our videos, please subscribe to our channel and make sure you hit the bell to be notified when we share new content. We would also love if you shared this video with a friend.